Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Breakdown. We're back. We've been gone for a little while. My name is Jacob, and joining me today is Abuna Hanna Nasif Mishri. I got all three right. How are you today, Abuna?
Everything is good, thank God. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you. So, Nairuz is happening tomorrow as of recording this. And with the Coptic New Year on the way, it kind of got me thinking about the Coptic calendar. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has had to explain kind of the awkward explanation of why Christmas is different or why our Easter is in May. Obviously, I don't know, but I always just say because the Coptic Orthodox calendar is different. But I never understood why it was different. So, Abuna Hanna, why is the Coptic calendar so different from, I guess, the rest of the world?
Yeah, the Coptic calendar is a very old calendar. It is like the old Egyptian calendar. It is like 4,000 years before Christ.
Oh.
And at that time, calendar means like they are calculating the number of the days of the year. And then they put in every day 24 hours and 60 minutes per hour. So they calculated the calendar in the old age by 365 days. And 200 years or less before Christ, they discovered that there is a shift in the seasons of implanting, and then they added quarter of a day to the calendar. This means that the length of the calendar became 365 and 6 hours every year. So every 4 years they added 1 day. And then the Roman Empire took the idea of the calendar, of the Coptic calendar, and they applied for the whole world. And they took the same length of the Coptic calendar, 365 days plus 6 hours, to be the Julianic calendar. Because Julian, Julius Caesar gave it his name. And it became like the Julianic calendar, and all the world was adopting this calendar, the Julianic calendar. The same length, 365 days plus 6 hours, but he didn't like, Julius didn't like the way the Coptic calendar is putting 12 months by 30 days and then 5 days alone or 6 days in the leap years. So he took these 5 days and he put them on March, May, July, August, October, December, and then February was short. So because at that time the year starts by March. So it's okay, but it was the same. It was the same. But what happened, I have to explain in details on the board, if you permit me.
What do you know? There's a whiteboard right here. Yeah.
So we have the Coptic calendar. And we have the same, the Julianic calendar. And the length of this year of the Coptic calendar and the Julianic calendar, 365 days plus 6 hours. Here is the same. And after many years, you know how we calculate the days of the year. We calculate it by the seasons, In 1582 AD, with the science, they discovered that the Earth, here is the sun, and here is the Earth moving in the orbit around the sun. So if the Earth is here, here's the Earth, is moving like that around the sun. When it starts from point A and comes again to point A, this is
1 year.
1 year.
Oh.
This is 1 year. Very easy.
Yeah.
And we can say that each point here, each point, like this point, we can say this point is when the Earth is in this point on the orbit, it is like January 1st.
Oh.
Here, like March 3rd. Here is like May 15th, and so on, just for example. So when I find the Earth here, this is on my calendar, this is January 1st.
Okay.
When I find the Earth here on the orbit, this is March. So each point on the orbit represents a day. So here, for example, like July 26, anything. So the scientists discovered that there is a shift of the Earth on the orbit. This point should be, it is 4th, October 4th.
Yeah.
But they found the Earth here, not here. On the day of 14th. So there is a shift. And they try to calculate the calendar once more. They found the calendar, the Earth completes one cycle around the sun in less than this time.
Oh.
Yeah. So they found it, according to the new calculation, that the length of the year is 365 days, but not 6 hours. Not 6 hours as mentioned here. 6 hours. No. Just 5 hours and 48 minutes and 46 seconds.
Oh, I see.
So there is here a difference. So the Earth came, when we start calculating from point A till point A, it took, this created by God and designed by God to be like that. Just we calculated it.
Yeah.
In 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, 46 seconds. So there is a difference between what we are calculating in the whole history. The Coptic calendar, the Julianic calendar, the same. 6 hours, and we have a difference here. 11 minutes and 14 seconds. And this accumulates every year. 11 minutes, 14 seconds. 11 minutes, 14 seconds. So when they found the Earth here on this point, It should be in this point. No, it was here. But our calendar says now today is October 4th.
Yeah.
But we found the Earth on October 14th. So they take this brief decision to change the calendar, to modify the calendar. This happened in that year, 1582. They woke up and they said tomorrow is not 5th, tomorrow is 15th. Because the Earth is already on this point, in October 15th.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is now in October 15th. So they cut these 10 days from the calendar and it became October 15th. This happened in the time of one of the popes of the Roman Catholic Church called Gregory, Gregory the 13th. So they called the modified calendar the Gregorian calendar. So here it came the new Gregorian calendar. This is what is called now the modified calendar or the new calendar. The Coptic Church celebrates all its feasts and all the seasons of the year according to the Coptic calendar, but it is now an old calendar. It needs to be modified, like the Julianic calendar became the Gregorian calendar. And it happened at that time, they cut 10 days. But there is an accumulation. 11 minutes and 14 seconds every year. Every year. So there will be like days after that. So now we are having this problem still with 11 minutes and 14 seconds every year, and this accumulates. So we need to cut days to when this minutes and seconds became one day, so we have to cut the day from the calendar. So they put like a calculation to cut. So they cut here 10 days. So 10 days. And then they decided, as the calculation of the Gregorian calendar, to cut one day every 100 years. Every 100 years. But not the years that are able to be divided on 400. Like we have, like after this we have 116, 1700, 1800, 1900, 2000, 2100, 2200, etc. So this we can divide it by 400. So nothing. We should we don't change. And then with the 1700 we cut one day. So February, it seems like it is a leap day, a leap year. No, February will be 28th only. Not we'll stop here and then start March 1st. And then also here, and then also here. 2000, like it is, we do nothing. And then we cut one day here, one day here. So we cut here one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. So this means that we cut 3 days every 400 years. 3 days for every 400 years. And one more day on top of this, one more day every 4,000 years. And one more day every 20,000 years. So we are adjusting the calculation of the calendar forever till the last day.
I see.
Okay, so now we have like 4 days difference between the old and the new calendar, the Coptic and the Julianic, and the Gregorian, I mean. And then we had one more day, so it became 11. One more day it became 12. Difference.
Yeah.
One more day became 13th, and this is what we have now. We have 13 days difference between the Coptic old calendar and the Gregorian new calendar.
I see.
So it is easy to adjust the Coptic calendar to be like the Julianic calendar by cutting this 13 days and following the same rules. You know, we celebrate the Nativity. You were asking about the Nativity. The Nativity feast. We celebrate it in Kiak 29th. And we still. But now, Kiak 29th, it corresponds in the past, before 1582, corresponds to December 25th. But now, after this modification happened in the Julianic calendar and became the Gregorian calendar, it became, in that year, it became January 4th. And then, when we added one day, it became January 5th. When we added one day, it became January 6th. And when we added the last day, 13th day, it became 7th. And in 2100, it became January 8th. And 2200 it will come to one more day, January 9th, and so on. And the Nativity feast is shifting now towards the Easter.
Yeah.
And like it will come, if we like wait for like 7,000 years, without modifying the Coptic calendar, it will come into March. The Nativity we will celebrate the Nativity in March. 29th of Kiah will be in March in the Greek land. So it will create a lot of problems. So we need, of course, to adjust the Coptic calendar as the whole world adjusted the Julianic calendar to be the Gregorian calendar. By the way, we are not only the only church. We are following the Coptic calendar. Some churches, few in the world, like the Russian and the Serbian, and of course the Ethiopian, they are.
I see. So then, what would that? You can sit down, by the way. What would that look like then if we did like integrate? Like, how would that work?
I think we need just like a simple measure to do is to cut the 13 days. That this is the difference from 1 year, just 1 year from the Coptic year. So when we come to like Misra 22nd, and then we jump to Tut first. So we cut these 13 days. Like we have now, like the Nairuz feast is September 11th.
Yeah.
So in the past, before 1582, it was August 29th. So when we come to August 28th, so next day will be Nairuz feast, will be the Tut first. And then we follow the same measures we will not like invent the wheel.
Oh, I see.
So we have everything now. The science is clear, and we have to adjust our Coptic calendar. We are proud of this calendar, and we will follow it. As a Coptic church, we should follow the Coptic calendar forever, because we have all the feasts and everything according to it. Just we need to adjust it. As if you have like, if you are using a watch, and it needs like adjustment every month or every year by 1-2 minutes. We have to like, I will not get rid of it. I love it, but I will adjust it every month or every year. I will adjust it. So we have to adjust the Coptic calendar according to the science we have now, to be a new calendar.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Abone. I appreciate you coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You're very welcome.
If you guys want to learn more though about the Coptic calendar, because I don't know if I said this earlier, but this is like the tip of the iceberg of how in depth things go and how much deeper and like how much more complex it gets. So we are going to be linking in the description below the CYC series. I'm going to try to remember the name. Reasons for the season, right? So and it was, I think, eight episodes. 8-episode series?
I think so.
Reason
for the season.
So it's going to be an 8-episode series where Boni Hanna just goes completely in depth if it's something that you would be interested in. You've also written so much great stuff about Coptic calendar and other things as well. So if you are interested in this, by all means, check out those links in the description below. Otherwise, that's all we have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I thank you again, Abona, for coming on. And
my pleasure, and thank you for all your efforts.
Thank you so much. Thank God. And thank you guys so much for watching. God bless and good night.